Hello, I'm Dee Dee, Delusion Dispeller, and I want to talk to you today about a very tough topic, a very controversial topic that has popped up on YouTube in various forms, not just in our section, but many sections of YouTube. And that is the topic of what I will call separatism. Some people have a different word for it, but I want to talk about it in the biblical viewpoint. Because it's been around for the longest time. It's not something new. Solomon said in the Bible, there's nothing new under the sun. So this is not a new topic that one group, feel that they're better than another group. So let's talk about and examine what the Bible has to say about it. So first of all, in Deuteronomy 7:2, Israel is portrayed as a distinct people, set apart from the other nations, a special people. They weren't supposed to do what the other people around them were doing. They weren't supposed to go to the same quote-unquote churches, if you will, and honor the same gods. A lot of people around them in the surrounding nations had pagan gods. Israelites were not supposed to honor those pagan gods. They were supposed to only honor the one true God, Yahweh. Um, so there is a set apart, distinct difference between the Israelites and the other people in that area. Following Babylonian exile, exiles who returned after whatever that battle that caused them to leave was, they were also seen as separate and told not to mingle with other people groups. Israel was culturally distinct from other people groups, which means it was different and seen as, if you will, kind of better than in the spiritual sense of the word and maybe in God's heart. That's kind of what the Bible is alluding to. Intermarriage was forbidden because of this superiority type thing that was going on. The books of Ruth and Jonah that were written around this time clearly portray that there are different distinctions between foreigners versus the people of that main land. They speak of them as if they are significant others, in a bad sense, like they are the foreigners, they are the pagans, they are the bad people, whatever. It's a theme constantly throughout the whole Bible, really. Jesus came along and disrupted these type of social boundaries, including even women among those that could be valued as leaders, in a sense, when he would refer to women in different situations, as honorable. Back then, women were not considered honorable. They were considered what was called chattel, or property. I believe I'm saying that right. Um, it's interesting. Some of you may remember the story of a woman asking Jesus to heal her daughter that is demon possessed. And basically, he turned to her and said, "It isn't right to give food to the dogs." So Jesus himself called her a dog, meaning you are beneath a certain people group. And she responded saying, "Well, even the dogs will eat the crumbs." In other words, I'll take whatever you're willing to give me. I know that I'm substandard compared to these people over here, but I will take the little bits you're able to give me. But he didn't sit there and say, you know, "Oh yeah, I won't do this because I don't like you. I won't do it because you're beneath me." But in a sense, he still gave a delineation that you are down here and we are up here. We are not to mingle with you. We are not to give food to the dogs. So again, that separatism was still definitely very clear, even in the Bible, in the Old Testament. Okay, do you remember the story of Abraham or Joshua? They were told they were going to have a promised land. Now, in order to have the promised land, the people that were in that land, who were seen as less than, were driven out or destroyed for the chosen people to come in and take over the land. It was a very violent thing. Now, we don't really obviously get into all that when we're teaching our children or whatever about Abraham. But yeah, it was a war. It was very violent. And obviously, I'm childproofing this particular video, and I am not going to monetize it as well because this information I'm getting is not originally mine, but it is from the thoughtfulchristian.com. I'm just basically synopsing, what do you call it, summarizing it for you. Okay, non Israelites were labeled as cultural others, but they also, this also targeted women, as I said, foreign women, as being particularly dangerous. In fact, I believe that possibly in the book of Psalms, is it Psalms? Proverbs, I'm sorry, Proverbs, it talks about the foreign woman and the woman that lures people away. And so women that were of a foreign nature, not in the in crowd, were seen as dangerous and seen as separate from God's chosen people. God often directed judgment at surrounding nations who were not seen as the chosen as well. His judgment against them basically was a provision of resolving the world's conflicts, because it's always been known by most people that when there is a different people group from this one to this one, there's going to be battles.